Hello, I'm Wilfried Duvivier. For over 30 years now, I've really had one central mission, to be a strategic architect for a company's most important asset, its people. It's all about building these incredible, high-performing teams by connecting human potential directly to business goals. So, what does that actually look like in practice? Let's get into it.
This phrase you see here, for me, that's not just some corporate tagline. It's truly the philosophy that's guided every single decision I've made throughout my career. I really believe that a company's success is only truly unlocked when you perfectly sync up the potential of your people with the strategy of your business. It has to be a perfect match.
All right, so before we dive into the how, I think it's so important to start with the what. A good philosophy is great, but its real value is measured in actual, tangible results. So let's start right there and take a look at some of the concrete outcomes I've been proud to help deliver. So, this number, what's behind it? I have to say, I'm incredibly proud of this one. This represents a 95% employee retention rate. So how do we get there? It was all about creating these really robust talent management and succession programs. It just goes to show you a simple truth. When you genuinely invest in your people's growth, they invest right back into the company. It's that simple. This next number, this really speaks to a core value of mine. We were able to achieve a 15% jump in internal promotions for women over just a 3-year period. And I want to be clear, this was no accident. It was the direct result of very targeted leadership programs that were designed to build a truly diverse and inclusive talent pipeline for the future.
Now, you might see a number like less than 4% and wonder, what's so special about that? Well, context is everything here. This was the absenteeism rate we managed to maintain during the absolute peak of the COVID-19 crisis. It just shows you what's possible when you have a proactive crisis management plan that puts your employees' well-being first, even when things get incredibly tough.
Of course, not everything that matters can be measured in percentages. Some of the most critical work I've done involves navigating really complex human challenges. Think about major reorganizations, site closures, or even big expansions. The key to delivering these on time wasn't just good project management. It was about getting it done without social conflict. And that all comes down to fostering trust and keeping the lines of communication wide open.
So, how do you actually build the skill set to get those kinds of results? Well, it definitely doesn't happen overnight. Let's take a quick walk through my career path, and you'll see how each step across different industries really added a new piece to the puzzle.
My journey actually began on the front lines, in retail sales, and that gave me this incredible ground-up understanding of business operations. From there, I transitioned into HR, taking on bigger and bigger roles in manufacturing and packaging with some amazing companies like Reposo and Rexam. All of that experience led to a really significant period of international growth with Corning, which, that ultimately set the stage for the work I'm so passionate about today as a consultant.
My 12 years at Corning really tell the story perfectly. I joined as the HR director just for France, and then, step by step, my scope expanded to cover all of Europe, and then eventually the Middle East and Africa as well. It was an absolutely incredible ride, and I was so proud to be a key partner in helping that division go from a $250 million to $1 billion business.
Okay, so let's open up the toolkit. What are the specific skills and competencies I actually use to not just design a strategy, but to really deliver on it? Let's break it down. The way I see it, my expertise really rests on 3 big interconnected pillars. Think of it like this. First, you have to have the high-level strategy and transformation. But driving that strategy forward is the second pillar, your talent and development. And of course, holding it all together is the absolute foundation, strong relations and communication. They all have to work together.
So under that first pillar, strategy, it's all about the big picture. This is where we build the HR roadmap, where we navigate those complex changes, and where we make sure the organization is resilient enough to handle any crisis that comes its way. At the end of the day, the goal is to create a structure that's both incredibly strong and incredibly adaptive.
Pillar 2 is really the heart of it all, talent. It's not just about finding and attracting great people. It's about systematically growing them once they're part of the team. This means building out clear leadership pipelines and creating real opportunities for mobility, so we always have the right people ready to lead us into the future.
And finally, we have the foundation that holds everything up, relations. None of the strategy or talent development in the world works without a solid bedrock of trust. That means you have to foster strong relationships through really clear communication and negotiation, and build a culture where every single person feels they truly have a voice.
Which brings me right to what I do today. After decades of building these kinds of systems from the inside, I now use all of that experience as a consultant. My goal is pretty simple. I want to partner with organizations and help them turn their human capital into their greatest competitive advantage.
So what does a partnership like that actually look like? Well, whether you need to define a brand new HR strategy from the ground up, navigate a really critical transformation, or maybe just coach your leaders to unlock their full potential, I bring my experience directly to your table. You can think of my experience as your resource.
So, the final question is really for you. Are you ready to transform your HR challenges into a powerful engine for real growth? If you're looking to truly align your people strategy with your business goals, I would love to start that conversation. Thank you so much for your time.